In this video I explain 5 common challenges that managers face in today's working environment, and I'll explain the problem, I'll provide some real life examples and then a solution that I find works best. More and more has been expected of the modern day manager. We've got to obviously be technically very good at what we do. We've got to understand the finances. We've got to understand people's well-being, culture and diversity. We've got to be performance coaches. We've got to be life coaches. The list is endless. So where do we start? Now, naturally, the first one has to be communication. And the problem with it is people just don't always know what's expected of them. And these are very common examples. Well, I didn't know they wanted that. Why did they need this? So, 6 really important words to put on your vocabulary to help manage and communicate downwards, to manage upwards. Don't forget, we've always got to manage our manager, and to be able to communicate upwards and across the businesses, and then obviously to our clients and customers. So, what's expected? Why are we doing it? How does it need to be done? When does it need to be done by? Where do we need to be by a certain stage? And who's it for? So please remember those 6 words. Put them into your communication. It just makes life easier in explaining everything. And when people say we need to communicate effectively, I always think about those 6 words. Use them, make them happen, and they just make life so much easier. So that's the first one. Communication. The second real challenge, which I'm sure you're all sitting there thinking, I thought you might have this one, the work-life balance. Well, the big problem is, and the example that we have for all of us is, I dare say the laptop or the work laptop and the work mobile phone seems to have more of a presence in our home life. In the evenings, in the mornings and at the weekends. So what is the solution? Well, it's time to sit down, get a pen and paper, or you can do it on your laptop, but just in a quiet space. What is your contract with yourself? What is really, do you feel, acceptable for what you get in return in terms of pay, recognition, the way that you work and your career and everything? You know, what is your contract with yourself? What is acceptable? Is it acceptable to, first thing you do in the morning is to get up and look on your mobile phone? The last thing you do before you go to bed is answer a work problem. Weekends, there again, set a contract with yourself. Yeah, I decided from a very early age that I just love my sport and weekends. I very, very rarely ever work weekends, and I've been running my own business for 20 odd years. Yeah, so please sit down and think, right, work-life balance, set a contract with myself. What is acceptable and what isn't acceptable? Make it important, block out time, prioritise it, and start to manage it. If you can't manage your own contract, you're going to manage everything else in your life. So concentrate on that contract. Number 3 is a lack of motivation in team members. Some team members just seem empty. They're present, but are they actually contributing? They turn up when they need to, and yeah, they're sort of there, but they're not really, contributing. So I think the best thing to hear is, like any relationship you have with people in life, why do they go wrong? It's because we don't communicate. Well, that's point number 1. But when we look at motivation, and motivation will never be a theory anymore. I could talk about all sorts of motivational theories, but I think the best motivational theory is to sit down, unzip your people's heads, have a little look inside, ask them some great questions and get them to understand. So the first great question I'd ask them, what are their expectations of you, the work, the environment, their career? If you can start to understand these and their expectations, you can then see, where do we marry up? Where have we got perhaps a difference? And have these conversations. And there's 4 really great questions I think every manager needs to know about their people. What do they think of you? Yeah. What do they think of their job? What do they think of the business? And what do they think of their career? If you can understand their expectations and aspirations, you can decide what you need to manage, what you need to let go, and sometimes it may be them, yeah, and then you can decide how you can develop them in the future. But if you haven't got this information, all I'm going to say is good luck. Yeah, you've got to understand where your people are coming from. So it's great to see that you're still with me, and because of that, you may be aware that I have a free ebook that can be downloaded. It's all about self-development and future-proofing yourself. It's brilliant for you and brilliant for your people. So please see it in the box below and yeah, enjoy it. So the number 4 is, in today's environment, remote working. Yeah, the problem is well, what are they really doing when they are remote working? And the trust. So you've got to build in regular check-ins and have some great questions, but not to interrogate them, to sort of say, well, are you really doing that? But just to get into regular check-ins, and they have a series of questions that they've got to answer. What are their plans? Who are they talking to? Why have they chosen that course of action? There again, going through the who, the what, the why, the when and the how, just put these on your vocabulary and just ask questions. And then they can start telling you what their plans are for the next couple of days or for the week or for the month, whatever your period you're reviewing. But have a chat with them first of all and say, look, when we have our check-ins, this is just the information that I need to know. Why? Well, somebody may be asking me about this. I just need to know that everything's covered. And just agree those check-in times and do not break them. Don't send them a last minute message saying, oh, we're going to have to put this back. Because what's that really saying to people? Well, it's saying that they're not important. So please make sure you do that. Plus also, don't forget about the well-being part. How are you? Yeah, I'm great, I'm fine. No, but how are you? And yeah, create that time to give them a bit of feedback. Not just about work, but life and other things. No, you can't solve all their problems, but it doesn't stop you understanding and showing an interest in enabling them to manage themselves more effectively. So the 5th one, well, we did work-life balance, and that mainly is because we're all doing too much. So we talked about setting a contract with yourself, but the problem we all have is, as someone said to me recently on a course, David, I'm just totally overwhelmed with everything. Not specifics, everything. So everything you touch and everything you have in your to-do list, everything you have scheduled, ask yourself one question. Should I be doing this? Is this a good use of my time? Am I doing too much of other people's work? Not just my team, but other areas of the business. And keep asking yourself, should I be doing this? Is this a good use of my time? Or am I an expensive team member? Because perhaps you get paid more than them. And then if you feel, no, I shouldn't be doing it, now's the time to start managing it. In your reviews, in your catch-ups, in your one-to-ones, start delegating. But keep asking yourself, should I be doing this? Well, who should be doing it? Or if it even needs to be done at all. Start challenging this across the business. The reports, the meetings, the emails and everything we get. Do I really need to get involved? Your life will start to become a lot easier, and the other challenges that we've talked about will become easier. So that's number 5. So number 1, great communication. The who, the what, the when and the how. Work-life balance. Set a contract with yourself. Lack of motivation. Understand their expectations. Number 4, the remote working. Regular check-ins. Get them used to what you're going to be asking them to do on a regular basis. Ask great questions, but don't interrogate them. And number 5, you're doing too much. Should I be doing this? So thank you for watching. If you've got any other workplace challenges that you find are difficult to manage, drop me a line. Be more than happy to do a video on it, or we can have a conversation. So please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.